So we start tonight off with Paula Reed and that new information about those latest charges from the special counsel. What have you learned, Paula?
Well, it's really interesting. In our reporting over the past several days, we're learning the extent to which the former president went to get around his own lawyers, really relying on lower level employees at Mar-a-Lago. For example, Anderson, we've learned that one of the employees who's referenced in a critical moment in this indictment is Yuscil Taveras. He's an information technology worker. He was in charge of the surveillance footage and how it was stored. And now he's found himself at the center of this case because of a conversation he had with a property manager at Mar-a-Lago, who has now been added as a co-defendant here, Carlos de la Vera. De la Vera asked Taveras to have a private conversation in an audio booth where he inquired about exactly how long the footage was stored and if it could be deleted. Now, Taveras said he wasn't sure he even had the authority to do that, but he was told that, quote, the boss, aka Trump, wanted it deleted. And now Taveras' attorney declined to comment to CNN. But Anderson, it's just another example of how relatively low-level employees at Mar-a-Lago have been caught up in this because the former president has relied on them, right, in an effort to get around his lawyers who may have steered him another way.
Do we know if he could be charged? I mean, he's clearly already, I assume he's already talked to the special counsel, which is why he's why he's been mentioned as that eyewitness in the superseding indictment.
Yeah, pretty much everyone who's worked at Mar-a-Lago, again, from the groundskeeper all the way up to the head of security for the Trump Organization, has spoken with the special counsel. But so far, it doesn't appear that Taveras has exposed himself criminally in any way. Though his colleague, Carlos de la Vera, he opened himself up to criminal liability by allegedly being dishonest with the FBI. And Anderson, we know very smart, very accomplished people, from Martha Stewart to General Petraeus, have opened themselves up to this kind of criminal vulnerability by just not being honest. And once you are not honest with the FBI, it's easy for the government to try to press you into pleading guilty. And that's what the special counsel thought they could do with Walt Nauta. It's what they thought they could do with Carlos de la Vera. But so far, they have been unsuccessful. But no indication that Taveras will be added as another co-defendant.
All right, Paula Reed, thank you. I'm joined now by conservative attorney George Conway, contributing columnist to the Washington Post. George, the superseding indictment, it is incredibly detailed. It's got detailed timeline. It clearly seems many people in Mar-a-Lago, I mean, to Paula Reed's point, and the former president's orbit have been giving useful evidence to the special prosecutor. What stood out to you?
I mean, everything stands out to me. And they have him dead to rights. They had him dead to rights back when they executed the search warrant and they came up with those documents. I mean, there is literally a smoking arsenal here. I mean, people are making a big deal about what we saw in the superseding indictment yesterday. But the fact of the matter is, it's just icing on a very, very large cake of mind-bogglingly inculpatory evidence against Donald Trump. I mean, he's like a never-ending bottomless pit of illegality. I mean, he's basically, by asking his workers to destroy the videotape, I mean, he was obstructing justice, but he wasn't just obstructing justice. He was obstructing justice about his prior efforts to obstruct justice, because those videotapes showed how he and Walt Nauta were moving these boxes around. And it is just like in the Mueller report. The Mueller report explains how Trump tried to get his White House counsel to get the special counsel, then Bob Mueller, to resign. And then when it hits the newspapers that he did that, then Trump asked the White House counsel to write a false memo saying that it didn't happen. And again, he's obstructing justice about obstructing justice. He's like a matryoshka doll of criminality, this man. And it's just, he's not making it easier for himself. If anything, it's sort of, he's being unfair to himself because he's making it so easy for prosecutors. 1/10 of the evidence that they have can put him away for the rest of his life.
I mean, I guess it shouldn't surprise anybody, but it's still, to me, disturbing the degree to which he had no compunction about involving, a guy who works in the property management and this guy Nauta, who, is clearly very loyal to him, but, low-level employees who can't afford attorneys of their own. I mean, these are the people he reached down to do his dirty work. And they were scurrying around, asking questions about, they didn't know how to erase the security cameras, and so now they expose themselves to other people because they're asking, things because that's what the boss wants.
Yeah, I mean, it's he doesn't think of anyone but himself. It's all about him. Everyone else, all of us, the American public, the country, is expendable to Donald Trump when it comes to saving his own skin. And that's what he did here to these poor people. I mean, they're just being loyal to him. They're really not well, probably not very sophisticated in the ways of the world and certainly in legal matters. And they wanted to please him, and he abuses it. And then he locks them in with him so that they are stuck with him, and they are represented by lawyers who he pays. I mean, he owns these people, and he's just using them and destroying their lives as he destroys his own life.
I want to play something that House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told CNN's Manu Raju today.
What concerns me is you have a sitting president that has a situation like this, but even worse, that had documents, but nothing's happened.
But they're talking about
That
the
is
obstruction
why.
versus
But
the actual.
listen.
It's two different issues. They're saying the obstruction of the
It's not two
investigation.
different issues. How is one keep being indicted and another not?
Well, the difference, as Manu was trying to explain, is that when President Biden's team discovered classified documents, they reported them to the National Archives and cooperated with the investigation, while the former president allegedly took action to avoid having to give the documents back, even after a subpoena obstructed the investigation, according to the DOJ. I mean, it's a disingenuous argument from the House Speaker.
Oh, it's beyond disingenuous. It's a disgrace. I mean, these people are treating the voters as idiots. And that's basically a hallmark of today's Republican Party, is that they are willing to defend and probably nominate a lifelong criminal as their standard bearer, as the presidential candidate for 2024. And they have no compunction about it, and they'll say absolutely anything. They'll make any false analogy. They'll make any false comparison, comparing Trump to people who actually didn't intentionally conceal documents and didn't have people try to destroy evidence about their concealment of the documents. I mean, it is a complete disgrace that the Republicans aren't saying enough. This is enough, and I guess I don't think they ever will.
George Conway, thanks very much. I want to bring in our senior legal analyst and former Assistant U.S. Attorney Elie Honig. He's the author of Untouchable: How Powerful People Get Away with It. I mean, obviously, the special counsel would like these two co-defendants to cooperate. Would they still be able to work out some sort of a deal? If Oliveira suddenly, woke up and realized the trouble he's in and was willing to, could he get a deal?
Absolutely, yes. People can cooperate at any time. Now, from a prosecutor's point of view, the earlier the better. But I've seen people cooperate not even on the eve of trial, during trial. So that door remains open. But
because there was this 24-minute phone call between the former president and the guy who worked at Mar-a-Lago,
right,
in advance of him going down and trying to erase these tapes.
Right, and even if they don't have the content of that phone call, it doesn't appear it was recorded. Just the fact of a 24-minute phone call really tells you something. But I think this is important.
If he would cooperate, he would tell what was on that phone call.
Question one, what were you talking about in that phone call?
For 24 minutes with the former president of the
Think how long 24 minutes is, right, to be on the phone with somebody. I mean, Michael Cohen was asked that question the other day, and Michael Cohen said, at times, but only if he was strategizing with me. And to speak to somebody who was a property manager is remarkable. But the government does not need these guys to cooperate. They have a strong case based on the text, based on the audio, based on the documents themselves. If they do cooperate, and I'm a prosecutor, I'm ecstatic, but I don't need them.
The employee number 4, Yusil Tavares, as Paul Reed just reported, is it clear, does he seem to be a cooperating witness?
He seems to be somebody who is cooperating with the government without incriminating himself. It seems like there's an important line here between the new defendant, Mr. De Oliveira, and this guy, employee number 4, one of whom is charged, the other is not. And the difference, according to the government, is De Oliveira knew this was criminal and took steps to try to promote it. It looks like employee 4 essentially was asked to do this crime, to wipe out the surveillance video, and either said, I can't or I won't. So employee 4 will be a crucial government witness, but it looks like he's sort of an ideal witness for the government because he actually separated himself from the criminal conduct, and that's why he's not charged.
I've heard different attorneys, different perspectives on whether or not this delays the start of the trial. Where do you stand?
I think it will. when you supersede an indictment as a prosecutor, it's a powerful tool because you get to update your charges. You get to add new people. You get to add new charges. The downside of that, you have to understand, is you are opening the door for the defense to go into the judge and say, hey, there's new stakes here. There's new charges. If you're Donald Trump, you say 3 new charges. If I'm convicted of any of them, I'm going to prison. I'm entitled to more time to prepare. So I guarantee you next time they're in front of the judge, that motion will be made. And now there's a basis for the judge to move the trial back more.
All right, Elie Honig, thanks very much.